Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are knocking on the end of July, getting ready to go into August.
Yes.
Yep.
August is my least favorite month.
I'm not a fan of August.
I'm not a fan of August either.
First of all, I think it's humid and hot, and it's awful.
And every month has something to offer, you know, but I can't, I don't have anything in my life that makes me love August. Like back to school, don't love August.
No.
Heat, don't love August.
No.
There's no major holidays that involve cheer and joy and good spirits.
There's not any.
No.
There is nothing in August, is there?
There's nothing. There's Labor Day, I guess. But
that's really September.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, September is the greatest month because you know who was born in September.
Who would that be?
I believe it was me. Yeah, September 21st should be a national holiday. I say it every year.
We'll declare it.
Well, I'm thinking something should be done.
Yes.
There should be a plaque or a statue of me somewhere in Florida, at least.
Maybe there will be one day.
Maybe one day, yeah.
Yes, even if it's in your own front yard.
I may have to get one.
Jim!
I need a statue of myself. Gosh, yeah. So, yeah, it's just we don't really, Jim's back in it with volleyball. He'll be doing volleyball, and, it's really not, and camping, I love to camp, but I don't like to camp in, like, we do the July thing when we go to Holiday World. But otherwise, July and August are out for camp. It's too hot.
Honestly, September can be pretty hot too.
September,
camping in October would be very nice.
Yeah, camping April, May, June, wonderful camping, and then like the end of September, October, November is good camping.
Yes,
but a lot of places will shut down. I guess there are a few places like I think you can camp down at oh shoot, what's the one down by Johnsonville?
Oh, Samdale.
I think you can camp down there because they don't have full hookups and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Even through the winter.
Yeah, I'm almost positive you can. A lot of places shut down. I'm not sure when Charlie Brown shuts down. I love to camp at Charlie Brown Park.
Yeah, I don't know when they shut down either, but I wish Charlie Brown. Here's a shout out to the city of Florida. Would you please leave the bathrooms unlocked out there in the park even through the whole winter?
I don't know why they don't, unless people vandalize it.
I don't know, but it's like you get out there with kids, and it's like you got a sunny day out of nowhere, and you go to the park, and then somebody has to pee, and the bathrooms are locked.
Yeah. Over there by the
playground.
Yeah.
Sadness.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why they don't.
I don't know.
The only thing I could think of, but shoot, if they're not vandalizing it when it's, I don't know what the big deal would be.
Right.
I would think they would be open all the time. I know the shower houses and stuff shut down, but I can't remember when they actually shut down. But I will be doing a lot of, but we get into volleyball, so, but what I'll do is I just have Jim park me somewhere, then he goes, and me and the dog just hang out, and yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, I love camping.
I'm looking forward to volleyball games this year. Carissa's playing volleyball.
She is going to play, huh?
Yeah, she is. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing her
Has she ever played volleyball before?
No, never.
Volleyball is one of my favorite sports. It's one of those sports that I can watch it and get excited and not even have to know anybody playing. It's literally my favorite. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Like any of the Winter Olympics.
The Summer Olympics.
Oh my gosh, in volleyball.
I haven't watched volleyball yet, but I've been watching diving.
Jim loves diving.
The ones where they dive at the same time and they stay in
synchronized diving.
How do they
do that?
It's really mind blowing. Like and after a few, like I'm suddenly an expert on synchronized diving, and I'm like, they were off.
Of course you are. Well,
they weren't together. Let's see that in replay. Oh, yep, I was right. They're off by a quarter turn.
But wouldn't they have to be the same height and
and weight and everything?
Yeah, because like the only ones that like those, like usually the Asians are like all the same size and stuff. But you couldn't even be a pound off. Some of us pick up a little bit faster momentum.
Yeah. No, these were
I'm hitting the water first.
Incredible athletes. I mean, last night I watched the Mexican team, and they were it was astounding how perfectly together they were.
I like watching the gymnastics. I like the floor routines. I shared that one video of the where they had the baton off the relay. My gosh, the American women that they're calling like the fastest women in the world. Did you watch that?
No.
I put that video out there. It was like, you need to watch that because I don't like races. I don't like running. I've watched that because these women are phenomenal.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
I mean,
I haven't seen that one, but I've seen just everything that I have seen. It just makes you go, wow.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not athletic whatsoever.
Did you see that one Facebook thing that says in every race or every event they should put one average person competing, just so you can see by comparison how awesome these athletes are?
Yeah.
Like, can you picture me out there swimming a lap while everybody else is already finished?
Here I am. Okay, they've let me once. Here I am.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
because I mean, watching these women run, and they are booking it, man. They are just. You're like, are you not afraid to fall down? Hurdles are another one. To do. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know how they do that.
You would have to. I don't know.
Someone told me hurdles, and I've never ran track hurdles. Someone told me like it's all about counting. Like, it's not really about like seeing it and then like, here it comes, I'm going to jump. It's like you're counting in your head.
Really?
Like they're perfectly
1, 2, 3, 4,
spaced. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, jump. 1, 2, 3, 4,
really?
Jump.
They're not even.
That's what someone told me. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. We should talk about something other than sports. So
because I know nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
they are fun to watch.
They are. It's just. I don't know. It's just I haven't really got into the Olympics much this year because I'm waiting for my favorite. I feel sorry for them gymnasts because them gymnasts, I think they have to work harder than everybody else. Because don't they have to do a bunch of stuff before they even get to where they can win medals?
Yeah.
And then there's like you got the balance beam, which is crazy, and then the uneven bars, and and that vault.
Yeah. Last night the men's gymnastics team won the bronze. And they were so happy. Like, they were celebrating like they had won gold. And I think that was the right attitude.
I love it.
You should always
celebrate.
Be thankful and celebrate. And they had a lot to be proud of. I mean, bronze is nothing. I mean, they were beat by like hundredths of a second, I think, probably on all of their events. So it's like, heck yeah, celebrate.
I would. I'd celebrate just because I didn't break my neck.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I've watched this. I've just been watching stuff on Facebook, like Simone Biles and them. She's impressive. That little girl's impressive.
She's 27 years old.
Yeah,
and married. She's not. She's small in stature, but she's not young.
She's not young.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
When do they? Oh, I remember watching Nadia Comaneci.
Was that her last name?
Yeah, I think so. She was the Russian, and she was like the first person to ever get like tens across the board. Man, that little girl was just flexible. I loved watching her. Of course, I remember watching Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou Retton. I had a workout tape by Mary Lou Retton when I was a kid.
You? Yeah. That Nadia, boy, and there is a story about her life and those gymnasts, man. It's strict. Everything's strict. They're 24/7.
Yeah, I don't really wouldn't want that life, probably.
I wouldn't either. And Nadia's coach was like, she may not have been Russian. She wasn't Russian. What was she? Nadia. No, what was Nadia Comaneci? YouTube, Google that and see.
She wasn't there a husband and a wife coach, and then they ended up splitting up, and then the husband went on to coach other future gymnasts.
His
name was very Russian, but he coached in the United States.
I don't think she was. She wasn't Russian, but she was over in that
like
area.
Barry or something.
Yeah,
that's not right.
And it was tough. And I remember, like in this movie or whatever, she was like, I'm eating a cheeseburger, like right before one of her main events. She was starving. Romanian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was her coach's name?
Abby. Good job. Romanian. Yes. Yeah. And there's a movie on Nadia Comaneci because she's like, when you think about gymnasts, she is like the first gymnast ever. Yeah. Unreal. I can't even. Yeah. What was his name? She's gonna look that up for us.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled B-E.
Bella something, right?
Bella, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, Bella was the coach. There's an episode of Arthur based on them. That's where I get most of my information. Arthur. Did you ever watch Arthur?
The movie Arthur?
No, the
what are you talking?
Cartoon Arthur.
No.
Arthur the Aardvark.
No. What? You chased more rabbits. What happened?
Well, they talk about that, and Bella is a guest star on it, and they come in. It's his voice. He actually did the voice. Yeah, they a lot of times did Arthur episodes like based on actual events going on in the world. I've seen every Arthur episode. We still watch Arthur in my house. All my family likes Arthur.
Well, I picked out an ad today, and it's different than I've picked out before. Okay. It's just interesting because I've known so many people that's having babies. Sometimes the stork delivers more than you expected.
Oh boy!
It's Tux pads for hemorrhoids.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. And like those women, like they almost look like, some of them look like men, but it's like 1980s hairdos,
It's
isn't
19.
it?
This is 1991.
Okay.
I love the sweatpants, the gray sweatpants, but I love the way they have their sweatpants, their sweatshirts, and then they all have a button-down white shirt.
Yeah, that was a thing for a while. Wear your have your collar, wear your white button up underneath your sweatsuit.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the discomfort of hemorrhoids during pregnancy. But I just thought sometimes the stork delivers more than you're expecting.
Well, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Medicated hemorrhoid.
Wowzers. That wasn't what I was expecting you to talk about today.
I don't know. I've just known so many babies that have been born lately. And I came across, I'm like, why do they all have to be dressed the same? Why are they in sweatpants and a white I forgot about the white button down turtleneck. Yeah, all gray, all boring.
Yep.
1991. Good housekeeping. Mm-hmm. I gotta love it, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I just thought that.
The early 90s were great.
Sometimes the stork delivers, I don't know.
More than you expect.
More than you expected. Oh, funny. I took my little dog down to get shots yesterday, and when I was coming through, I said, I'm going to whip through Reiner, and I came across an old house that's really bad. I took pictures because I want to do some history on it.
Yeah, there was several big Victorians in Reinert at one time, but I don't think very many of them are standing.
No, I just came across that picture. I'm like, oh, I stopped right there. And, you know, Reinert's one of those places, like I just stopped in the middle of the road, and there were chickens, and I took a picture of that old house, had back up, and I'm thinking, oh, gosh, I wonder what all the people in Reinert think I'm doing here. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about Goff's cafe in Xenia, and then because we're going back to school, a little article that I found that Rena Lentz Thomas had done, a little bit about respect and etiquette back in the days and testing that they did back in the days for school. So I don't know. We're just going to touch a little bit on Xenia today. Okay. We don't visit over at Xenia very often, but today both stories are coming out of Xenia. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the restaurant.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we're going to revisit Goff's Cafe.
Okay.
I got this article. Where's my pen?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute. It's in my how we end the show with my deep thoughts from Jack Handy.
Yes.
Because it's a funny one that we're going to do today. But anyway, I have to have my pen. Why do I feel so important with this pen? We got these pens. We visited the Mustard Seed, and it's about time to take another visit to the Mustard Seed.
They have new green ones.
They have new green ones too, but we stole the pens from the Mustard Seed. Of course, she knew what we were doing. I love the Mustard Seed. We probably need to stop in there time. I bet she's getting fall stuff out.
Oh, I bet she is too.
Oh boy.
Great shop.
Great shop. Gotta love it. Gotta love the Mustard Seed. Okay, so anyway, this article is from one of my favorite people in the world, Bill Oliver. Miss him so much. And I like to, when I do some of Bill's articles, I like to read them because he is so funny. He just throws his own little wits in there. Yeah.
So the Goff's Cafe was a cafe in Xenia.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember it. What years did it run? Do you know?
Yes, 44. We're talking the
44 years it was open?
No, 1944.
Oh, it opened in 1944. Okay.
Yeah, 1944.
When did it go out of business?
Well, I'm getting ready to tell you.
Okay. Okay. I'm jumping the cart.
You are.
I just want to know. I don't remember it, but I never went to Xenia much.
I've never eaten it there. No, it is weird. I wonder why we never. Well, I was always in Clay City. My grandparents lived in Clay City. That's where I was always at. So it was during World War II, on July 24th, 1944, when Eric Goff and Madeline Burkett bought the stock and fixtures of the Adams Cafe in downtown Xenia from Charles E. Adams for $300.
Holy
So it's
cow.
1944. So this cafe
$300
was Adams Cafe before it was Goff's.
Okay.
They called their restaurant the Burkett and Goff Cafe because you got two women that buy it. However, 1 month later, Mrs. Burkett sold her interest in the business to Mrs. Goff, and the restaurant was renamed Goff's Cafe.
Okay, time out. So these two women probably both had strong personalities, I'm guessing. If they were both willing to start their own business
Together?
had a little cash.
Yep.
That might not have went so well.
Yep.
Okay.
And, yeah, it lasted a month.
Okay.
Whatever.
Not long. Not long.
Elza Goff, Era's husband, worked at the Elvin Bumgarner feed store and Owen Cornell store before eventually spending more time helping out at the restaurant as the business grew. The couple's daughter, Elsie Allen, also worked in the family business for 40 years.
Wow.
Let's show a picture.
40
Let's show the
years.
picture of Mr. and Mrs. Elza Goff. This is their 50th wedding anniversary picture.
Oh,
Look how cute they are. Mr. and Mrs. Elza Goff celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary inside the cafe in 1965. I bet that woman could cook.
Oh, I bet she could.
I bet she could cook. Yeah.
But to do that much cooking for that many years,
I don't know how anybody does it.
wow.
I don't know. I would be a nervous wreck every day. Because the kitchen makes me nervous anyway. You could do it. You're good at that stuff.
I could do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah, because you run the kitchen at the church like a iron fist. Which, by the way, it's about time to have another potluck.
I think there's one coming up.
When
They mentioned it at church on Sunday, but I'm not involved this time. It's going to be hamburgers and hot dogs, I think.
No, I want your potluck.
Yeah.
I want the potluck you do when you do funeral dinners.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to schedule one.
Yeah, I want that scheduled because it's the best ever. Okay, I'm going to continue reading on here about Goff's restaurant. My grandfather became the chief bottle washer in the cafe, said Elza Joe Allen. Now, Elza
He's
is
the man, right?
Elza is the daughter
Oh.
of Mr. and Mrs.
I thought.
No, I'm sorry, Elsie.
Elsie's the daughter.
No, it's confusing. Mr. and Mrs. Elza Goff. Elza
is the man.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, they wouldn't say Mr. and Mrs.
It's really weird. Ara Goff is the wife.
Ara, how they spell
Ara,
that?
Arra Goff. Ara is the wife.
Wow.
Elza is the husband, and Elsie is their daughter.
They liked vowels.
They-
Like,
okay.
Elza and Ara.
Elza and Ara and Elsie, the granddaughter.
Wow.
Yeah. My grandfather became the chief bottle washer in the cafe, said Elza Joe Allen. Grandson of the elder Goffs and son of Elsie Allen. So now we've got Elsie, the daughter of Elza and Ara, and they named their son Elza.
Oh, my.
Woo-wee! He spoke by phone last week from his home in Centralia. Granddad would spend most afternoons in the kitchen washing the dishes. So basically, Mr. Goff quit working his other job to become the bottle washer at the cafe.
Because they were that busy.
Because they were that busy. So they're booming. So he did all the dishes.
Good for him.
During the 1950s, Mrs. Goff also worked as a cook in the school cafeteria.
Are you kidding me? So
Wow.
she did both.
She did the school, and I'm going to tell you what, them lunch ladies back in the day, oh my gosh.
How long did she work at the school?
During the 1950s, Mrs. Goff also worked at the school cafeteria. So they
50s.
opened, in the 50s, she's worked there. So they opened up the restaurant in 44, and then she's...
Well,
and then she's during the 50s, Mrs. Goff was a school cafeteria cook. In the 60s and 70s, Goff Cafe was one of 2 restaurants in the village. The Xenia Cafe was located just a few doors down the street. It was more modern. It was a more modern facility. It had a jukebox. So that's how
So there were Xenia was able to support 2 different cafes, just a few doors apart from each other, and have that much business. That's awesome.
Yeah. Xenia was booming. There at one time. It's so sad to see him kind of go down. But yeah, so basically the Xenia Cafe was very modern because it had a jukebox.
Oh,
But
fancy.
Goff's Cafe had a certain small town flavor and spirit that has been missing ever since we allowed our culture and collective palate to become, what do you say, homogenize, Homogenize. Bill used a big word there.
Homogenize.
Homogenize. What's that mean?
Like all the same, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Fast
cookie
food.
cutter.
Yeah, fast food, I guess. Yeah, because I miss those. It's just like I want to do a story of the little diner over in Clay City. Oh, I loved it. It's set where Casey's is at now. I was like literally torn apart where they tore the little diner.
I don't know. I
The
don't
best
remember it.
cheeseburgers, hand patted, big cheeseburgers. It was amazing. The eatery had booths around the walls and a large community table in the middle of the room. It was at that table that you could chow down on roast beef or pork with the mayor sitting on one side of you and the town character on the other. And believe me, Xenia had its share of characters. You didn't walk in and scope out the place. You sat where a seat was available and immediately would strike up a conversation with your dinner partner, whoever that might be.
Yeah.
That's
It's still kind of like that in certain places.
yeah.
Grandma's kitchen.
Grandma's kitchen. Yeah, you're right. Grandma's kitchen is still kind of like that, and like the Inman Club. When it was around, and I don't know. I just feel like those. It's almost like the Cheers when you walk in. Everybody just started because like whenever I would go over to the little diner, the exact same coffee drinkers were in their booth. It makes you think of like what Angelo's when we did the story on Angelo's, how that would have all went down and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just like the good old guy. Oh, the cafe over at Clay City's still like that. Jill Lewis owns it. Jill and Mark Lewis owns it. Jeez, what is the name of that? I cannot believe I just went. And they have great food, and it's the same thing. You walk in that little building, and yeah, you walk in there, and it's got the same people. Great food, fried foods, and everybody, the owner's in there working it. And I love walking. Nothing makes me happier than walking into the diner where you're going to think I'm so weird that it's just got a yellow bottle for mustard and a red bottle for ketchup.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't like it when you go to a restaurant and you ask for can I have some A1 sauce or some ketchup, and they bring you out one tiny little cup.
No, because I need the whole bottle.
I go through a lot of ketchup. Like if I'm eating fries, I want a lot of ketchup. I don't want
I'm dipping
3
the whole
ounces.
fry. Yeah, I'm a ketchup. I'm a condiment eater anyway.
Me too.
Big time.
Extra whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be like extra sauce.
Yeah. Hey, Ty, Google what is the cafe that Jill Lewis owns in Clay City? That is on the tip of my tongue, and she's going to kill me if I.
Pit stop. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Abby.
Oh, thank
yes,
you.
Pit stop.
Man.
I used to eat
Abby,
there.
What the
She's
heck?
on it. So I used to
It
eat
is
at Pit Stop.
so good.
I worked in Clay City for a couple of years at the grade school, and I would go to lunch at the Pit Stop. It was good. It was really
Jill
good.
Lewis, great cafe. Great cafe. You've got to stop at Pit Stop.
Yeah.
Because she actually even, I believe, started working, did at the country club in Olney.
Oh,
and I'm
really?
like, Jill, open up I would have killed for Jill to open up a business in Flora. Put a little dinery in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's good at what she does. It's
Yeah.
so good. Where am I? I can continue on here a little bit.
Okay.
Where am I?
Keep going.
This is a funny story. Farmers with their muddy boots, bankers in their three-piece suits, all set together. That's the beauty of community.
Yep. Yep.
That
you don't
you
see
do
that
not
in a
get
big
that
town.
in the big towns.
No way.
I just don't. I like
Me too.
small town living.
Me too.
I like small town. I will always like small town living because I like where I can just call the bank and be like, "Hey, I need this paper signed. Can Jim run through and get it and go?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine living in a city
Mm-hmm.
where you don't have that.
Yeah, I know. Well, like for instance, we went on that bus trip a couple weeks ago, and there was, I had to call the bank because I was running my debit card to pay for the hotel, but it was over the daily limit, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just call the bank real quick. And the lady was like acting like it was going to take forever for me to get through to the right person to tell them to raise my limit or whatever. And it's just like, just call my bank. I'm like, hey, it's Beth. You here to raise that limit on that account? And they're like, yeah. And it's like 20 seconds later, I'm like, yeah, run it again. And then it goes through, And so they were like looking at me like, what kind of bank do you have? That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, when we were on that cruise, my
Uh-huh.
Early Wine Properties account got hacked.
oh, right. I remember you telling
I'm
me
like,
that.
I'm like, because I'm a weirdo. I check my accounts all the time because you never know.
Uh-huh.
You got to keep Jim on a leash sometimes, and so anyway, I'm checking. I'm like, we've been hacked, and Jim's like, I'm like, so I'm literally in the Mediterranean Sea, and I'm like, I'm like, hey. Of course, that's when Brittany Thompson doesn't work in the bank anymore. She's working HR at the hospital. I'm like, hey, it's Stacey Early Wine. I talked to Brittany, and Julie Kemp was like, oh, no, Brittany's not here anymore. I'm like, oh, where'd she go? And she's like, oh, she's doing HR at the... I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, listen, we got hacked. She's like, okay, I'll shut you down.
Uh-huh.
I'll put that money back in there. When you get back, I'll start the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't live anywhere but
Love
a small
town baking. Yep.
I love small town everything.
Well, right. Me too.
The menu was always the same. Basic, honest to goodness food. The kitchen, located at the back of the restaurant, did not feature state-of-the-art equipment, just a couple regular cook stove. Outside the back screen door, cats would gather, waiting for leftovers to be tossed their way. They were never disappointed.
Uh-huh.
That's the greatest. Goff's was also the local newsstand, featuring the latest magazines and newspapers. After school, kids would spend our time reading the latest photoplay and movie world magazines. Not once were we ever told that if we wanted to read the periodicals, we would have to pay for them. It was not unusual to purchase a magazine from Goff's and find a chocolate fingerprint on one of the corners.
Oh, funny.
We're going to take a quick commercial break,
Okay.
and I'll show you a couple more pictures of, I got a picture of the front of the cafe. We'll be right back.
Okay.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be.
Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Early Wine, and we are talking about Goff's Cafe in Xenia. And I've got a picture here I want Ty to show us because I was just talking about how the kids would go after school and they'd have magazines and read papers. And sometimes the papers have a chocolate fingerprint on them, which is so cute. But in this picture, looky here. So you can see, you have to look in. You see over there, it says Goff's Cafe to the left. Right to the right of that, it says Goff's Newsstand.
Oh, okay.
You see the Coca-Cola in the middle?
Yeah.
Just go down, follow that line down to the left says Goff's Cafe.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
And then to the right says Goff's Newsstand.
Look at those old cars.
Yeah, so they literally had that was Goff's Cafe pictured in 1960. At the right is the First National Bank of Xenia building before it expanded. Yeah, so they did have a newsstand. Interesting. So Bill continues saying, I recall on Friday night, as I left the restaurant, I was stopped on the street by my high school band director and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Sedano, who were in Xenia for some reason, and they asked which of the two restaurants was the best place to eat. Well, I catered to both, but I replied that if they wanted a jukebox, then the Xenia Cafe was their best bet. But if you want really good food, then you want to eat at Goff's, I said.
That's funny.
Unbeknownst to me, Mrs. Goff heard my comment through the cafe screen door, and I received a free piece of her chocolate cake each day after school for the next week.
That's pretty cute. Yeah, I like that.
That's Bill for you, right? The village trash collector, who I will refer to as George, since that was his name, would often drop into the restaurant and order just a glass of water. Then he would pour a big glug of ketchup into the glass and make his own tomato juice free of charge. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
That's not cool.
No.
I love water. I love ketchup.
He's just trying to be a cheapskate.
Not today when you get charged for water.
Probably
today.
They would charge him.
Nobody ever complained. In fact, we looked forward to George's visits. Of course, I recall many of the kids would snicker when he entered and then watch in amazement as he concocted his red drink.
Oh, my.
In 1965, Elza and Eric Goff celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. A customer brought them a cake, and they celebrated at the cafe. Ara Goff died June 12, 1970, at St. Mary's Hospital in Centralia at the age of 78.
Wow.
Elza Goff passed away at the age of 81 on December 28, 1972. When the First National Bank decided to expand, they remodeled the Goff's Cafe building, and Elsie Allen took over the Xenia Cafe and renamed it the Goff Cafe.
Oh.
She died in 1985 in the Centralia Care Center at the age of, she was young, 68. I've got a picture of Elsie Allen. I'll show that picture of Elsie here.
They only had the one daughter.
Yep. So
They're
this
too
is
busy cooking.
Does she look familiar to you?
Yeah.
She really looks, Elsie, she looks really familiar to me. But yeah, she's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Goff, so she took over the cafe. But she actually continued the cafe, but then the Xenia Cafe, she took over the entire building, so she must have needed both sides then.
Yeah.
So they must have been right by each other if the bank. Yeah, if the bank, because it says when First National Bank decided to expand, they remodeled the Goff's Cafe building, and Elsa Allen took over the Xenia Cafe and renamed it. Oh, maybe she just took over the Xenia Cafe.
Yeah,
so
I
they
think that's
took
what
the
that
Goff.
means.
Oh, so the picture of the bank, yeah, the bank would have taken over the cafe. So when you go in the bank, you were where the cafe was at. He also puts, I miss the Goffs, I miss Elsie, I miss the chocolate cake, the glass bottle of Coke, the movie magazines, and the daily fellowship of old friends in the old green booths. But I have great memories of Goff Cafe, and I relish each and every morsel.
Aww.
That's an article by Bill Oliver.
I wish that was still open. We'd go eat lunch there today.
I know it.
Yeah.
It's a shame, though, but that's just hard work.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can I don't know.
Yeah, they were hard workers for sure.
They were definitely hard workers.
Yeah. What a story. I didn't know.
I
didn't know
I
about
think
that.
I'd heard of Goff. When I came across the article, I was like, I remember, hearing about that, but we never did go over there. Whenever my parents, because back in the, let's face it, we go out to eat all the time. And if you could take into consideration how busy they were, and then that was a time when wives weren't working,
Right.
and they were, there was cooking at home, but to be that busy of a restaurant in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yeah.
Now the 70s things are starting to turn around, but the 40s, 50s, and 60s. To be that busy in that element, that would just be a lot of really hard work. Today we eat out we eat out constantly. Our place, whenever, like my mom and dad, when we would go out to eat, like on a Friday night, we would go to what is now the Flora Cafe. That prior was the Inman Club, but before that was the Ranch Steakhouse.
Right.
That was the place to go. And it was always one of those places I'll never forget. And they still kind of do that today, but so let's say my dad always ordered a hamburger steak. He loved hamburger steak. So it would come out on a platter. And then let's say you would order mac and cheese. It came in that little bowl of mac and cheese, green beans, whatever you ordered came out. So it was like almost going to
Cracker Barrel?
Well, not even Cracker Barrel, but the Waffle House.
Oh, right.
Because you get bacon, it comes out on a plate. When you're at the Waffle
everything's
House,
separate.
your table is not big enough.
Yes.
And that's kind of how the Ranch Steakhouse. But like when I was younger, that's where we went. We would eat at the little diner. I didn't really eat the little diner much till I opened up my shop, my hair salon in '87. Then I'd eat lunch at the little diner every day. But then we always ate at the Ranch Steakhouse. Do you remember a particular restaurant your parents would go to? Did you guys go out and eat much?
We did eat out. My mom cooked a lot, but we did eat out some. But my memories are in Harrisburg, so
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. I can remember the Ranch Steakhouse being there. My grandparents lived on Sunset Drive, so it was just right around the corner from their house. I was in Flora some when I was a kid, but not on a daily basis to eat there. But
Yeah, all those little fun places. Now I'm going to switch over because I want to talk a little bit more about Xenia now that we talked about the Goff's Cafe and we touched on, but we are getting back to school. So I came across this Piecing Together the Past article by Rena Lentz Thomas, which I like reading her articles too because she was a clever little writer.
yes, she was. She's the best.
Yeah, she is.
Love her stuff.
And I love Rena's because like she kind of I kind of feel like I'm a little bit like Rena because she gets up on her soapbox a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I want to get on my soapbox, somebody has to like tell me to get down because I could be there for a long time. But I'm going to read this article from Piecing Together the Past by Rena Lentz Thomas. So much has changed since the days of the one-room school, and even though we can't go back to those times, most of us wouldn't even want to entirely. But there are certain aspects of those times that would be beneficial to society if restored. And I have to completely agree. Would I want to go back to the one-room school? No. I would not want to go back to that. But I would like to go back to school during my time when there was discipline and respect. Because that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, and let's face it, kids haven't changed, parenting's changed.
Right.
It comes down to the parenting. She said, I noticed that the Xenia grade school word of the month was respect. That seems to be lacking in many of the schools today. Respect for teachers, authority, discipline, and yes, even students. Oh, well, I will get off my soapbox for now since I don't have the answers to these problems. I was reading recently in the school handbook for Clay County schools 1915 to 1916. So we're going to revisit because, like,
Okay.
when you go to school, we all go and is it the entire school? Because I remember going in as freshmen or whatever at the high school, and then they talk you. Everybody got a handbook. Did you read the handbook?
Never.
I never read the handbook. I don't think I did either.
No.
I don't think I ever did.
Never read it.
No.
I think today they make you sign a page of it that you agree that you've read it.
Oh.
Like when you go to freshman orientation or sixth grade orientation, like here's like sign this.
So it's sixth grade. You go to the junior high or the high school.
Yeah, but I think I even signed it and never still read it.
I don't think I ever read the
Sorry.
handbook. Jim probably did. He's an overachiever.
Okay.
I'm like, whatever happens, whatever happens, come to me when we get there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rena came across this Clay County Schools 1915 and 16 about monthly school examinations for a review of all the grades. It mentioned the 8th year final would include the following branches: reading, writing, arithmetic, orthography, orthography, orthography. What's that?
That's like phonics, right? Like dissecting words.
Okay. Some students today may not know the meaning of this word since it is seldom used anymore. Some students like me, I didn't know what that was. Grammar, geography, physiology, history, and civics. It cautioned teachers to conduct a fair examination with no aid, whatever, to be given in the students. No questions were to be answered and no suggestions made that would in any way hint at the information sought in the exam. So they're giving these
tough.
That does sound tough.
Yeah.
A little bit tougher than probably filling in the.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Pretty
This
hard
is
exam.
1915 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I heard many times that years ago, teachers would simply pass on many students who failed to get the required grades. But this paper suggested otherwise. The teachers were told not to let their sympathies or their desire for high marks for their pupils to betray them into wronging the students by telling them the answers they did not know, and thus raising them above the plane to which.
Wow. So no cheating.
No cheating.
Even if you really like the kid.
Even if you really
don't
like
give
the
them a
kid.
better grade.
No, this is going to continue on another page. Wow. Gosh, 1950.
It was tough.
That was tough. Wow. That is crazy. So we did not want to betray them into wronging the students by telling them the answers they did not know and thus raising them above the plane to which they really belonged. They were considered the moral effects not to deceive by false grades. That's crazy, isn't it? Before I finish
Well, have you
this-
ever looked through like any old school books from like that time period?
I don't think I really ever have.
It's hard. It's really hard. Like, and that's why people were better educated back then. I mean, you really had to study that stuff and you really had to learn it. It wasn't like No Child Left Behind. Like you didn't do well. Too bad. You still get it to go on.
Too bad. Keep going on.
Keep going.
Did they really ever even? And I'm not done with this article. I'm just taking my glasses off. I wonder today, can teachers even fail a student today?
I don't think so.
You don't hear, because I remember back when I was in school in the 70s, grade school, and that type of thing, and I remember students failing. They couldn't pass. They didn't go on.
When I was a kid, there were people that failed.
Really?
But now I don't think, ever since George Bush passed that No Child Left
Behind,
I think that if you're struggling, then you're written like you figure out why you're not learning right. You're written an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, and then you're just keep going. You're just pushed through.
Yeah. See, No Child Left Behind sounds really good on paper, but it does not work. I don't think No Child Left Behind, because I mean Mac is dyslexic and he had the IEP and so that was helpful to him. But I don't think.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying those are all bad,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying they're not always the right. I mean, I feel like it's hindered our
well, because anybody can
education
get
system.
one. Anybody can get an IEP now. It's like with Mac being a diagnosed dyslexic, and we took him outside the school system to get to learn how to deal with the problem because it's not fixable. But yeah, so he had that IEP. But it seems like, I mean, it's just like, oh, this kid's got this or that. I don't know. It's just interesting. But I think No Child Left Behind, I definitely think is good on paper, but does not work in reality. But anyway, we're going to finish up. We're going to talk a little bit about teacher salaries.
Okay.
Back in 1915. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pagel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are finishing up. We're talking a little bit about testing process in our school systems in 1915 and 16. So, like I said, it seems like it was a lot more difficult back in the day a little bit. But anyway, this same handbook that Rena was talking about lists all the schools in the county, the teachers, and their salaries for the school year 1915 to 16. Get this.
How much do they make? $100.
These salaries range from $35 to $75 per month for most schools.
Okay.
One teacher at Clay City did get $100. And 2 Flora High School teachers got $125 and $156 per month, probably because they were larger schools.
Oh, wow. They were making good money for back then. That
Yeah.
much a month? $150 a month?
I mean, really was.
I mean, some of them were.
1950.
$35 a month.
35 to 75.
Not so much.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
It seems the public schools continue to hold a fascination for the old schools and their classes, as I get many, many requests to publicize pictures and information. I got a couple pictures here, too.
Okay.
This next picture, go to the Center School 1946 and 47. The 1946-47 picture taken at Center School, which was located between Flora and Clay City on Old Highway 50.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like about where that church was?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I didn't know there was a school there.
Me either, but it's the Center School.
Huh.
Yeah, and this picture came from Karen Bangert. She loaned Rena this picture. But yeah, look at that. Center School, 1946 to 47.
Look how cute they were.
And
those boys have their ball caps on in the picture.
There's 13 students in that class.
Cute.
Yeah, I didn't realize there. Have we ever talked about Center School?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, that was 46 to 47 picture taken, located between Flora and Clay City on Old Highway 50.
Huh.
Aren't they cute? Yeah, those little boys.
Yeah.
The one in the middle literally reminds me of the little boy that stuck his tongue on the frozen pole and the Christmas.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and the little girl on the far left with the scarf around, like she has a little scarf up, and
so
cute.
So cute. The next picture I'm going to show, the second picture is from 1909, Pleasant Hill School, which was east of Louisville, possibly in the area known to locals as Hog Run. Perhaps some in the area will know if this is correct. Doyle Childers is the person responsible for this photo.
Okay.
Pleasant Hill School, 1909.
Wow.
Back row, Earl, let's see if we recognize any names.
Okay.
Earl Burton, Irene Harmon, Ernest Peters, Co. Burton, Harry McCollum, and Tom Fleener.
Okay.
Fourth row, left to right, Joe Hinkle, Herman McCollum, Vaughn Bailey, Melvin Bailey, Norva Bailey, Roscoe Bailey.
Ooh, a lot of Baileys.
Yep. Kenneth Wilson and Ray Bible. So all names we recognize today.
Uh-huh.
Third row, Roe Etchison, Russell Newby, Harv Etchison, Catherine Bryant, Effie Burton, Dora Bible, Jake Burton, Fern Childers, Opal Henderson, and teacher Hallie Tate. The second row, left to right, Lucille Harmon, Hattie Bible, Dot Eli, Ruth Reinhardt, Lowell Burton. That little Lowell Burton's got a little snark on his little face. Garland Eli and Doyle Childers. The very front row, we have Ada Bible. Oh my gosh, this little girl's name, Electra Wilson.
Wow.
Love it. Edgar Tolliver, Lelia Bailey, Pearl Hinkle, and Force Bailey. A lot of Baileys in that.
Yes. So let's just talk for a minute about these names. This is a fantastic source for anybody that is about to name either a child or a pet. This has the best names in it.
It does.
You know, like there's some real. I love the name Fern.
Fern, I like Fern.
Love the name Fern. Roe, that's cute.
Rose.
Co, that's a name that's coming back because there's a country singer right now named Co Wetzel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's so people are. It's kind of an up and coming name for kids, but it's
Vaughn,
usually with a K.
The name Vaughn.
Yeah.
I like Norva.
Yeah.
That's cute. But that Electra
That's unusual
Wilson.
for that time period.
Yeah. There's an Opal in there. Hattie. Hattie was a name that was making its way back too not too long ago, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pearl. I love the name Pearl.
Forrest.
And
Lelia. Lelia. Lelia Bailey. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I love to hear those old names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go ahead and talk about the old names because they're just cool, you know.
Right.
I'm telling you what, this Hometown Journal.
I know.
I've got more. I mean, I've got tons of stuff. I got all these back thens, and then I came across this Hometown News from Xenia by Velma Akes.
Yes, she wrote that for years.
Yeah, I'm going to start reading her stuff because she's got a lot of good stuff. But yeah, I'm telling you what, this Hometown Journal.
It was really a good paper.
Just
for those of you that don't live here, like it was a newspaper that ran in Clay County from about the year 2000 to probably 2010. I don't know what time it ended.
Yeah.
I worked there for a few years back in the early days, and it was a great newspaper. And what made it great is it didn't just everything in it was local. There was nothing national or state in it, and it was a lot of really interesting articles and a lot of history.
Yeah,
and it was just very well done.
Yeah, just great, and the pictures in it are great. And it's I don't know, I just I've got a whole thing of papers in here, and what I do is what I'm writing is like because I feel like after doing it I put like done.
Yes.
Done.
So
and then like on these because every Hometown Journal has a back then. Now I'm gonna have to go back and pay attention to these Xenia articles from that. It's the Akes. Last name was Akes because I love reading the back then articles, and this Akes is going to be a good one to and to bring back Donna Eubinger's articles. They're hysterical. We did the potty mouth grandma. Yeah. So I got to go through all my Hometown Journals and then make notes on everything.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very interesting. But it's kind of interesting stories, and you know, you don't think about how tough school was back then.
It was.
And if you think about the teachers, I'm still baffled how, and you're talking in that 1919, those were one-room schoolhouses. So, and one teacher took care of those children. Yeah, in that one picture, that 1909 picture, there were several children in that school system and one teacher.
But when you ran it with an iron fist and the kids were taught at home to respect and obey the teacher and to not be out of line, it went a lot smoother. I'm not sure someone could pull it off as easily today.
Well, and if you think about it's like lots of children, one teacher, several different subjects. Now it's like, oh gosh, we need smaller class sizes because and there's a teacher and they need smaller class sizes and they all need aides because it's behavior. It comes down to behavior.
Even when I was a kid, we would have a lot of times in our classroom 25 to 30 kids in a classroom, never had an aide. Our school didn't have aides. We had a few part-time people that worked to help cover the lunches and the recesses. Those ladies, were they ever in our classrooms? Never.
No.
Never. Our teachers, this was the 80s in Harrisburg.
80s,
I mean,
that's how it was.
even then, like, there was no trouble. if you were a kid that caused trouble, you were dealt with severely, quickly, and
Paddled. You were paddled
and
right then.
our vice principal, he was a big guy, tall, wide, had very dark black hair and a black mustache, and he looked like the kind of guy that would spank your butt so you couldn't walk the next day.
Yeah.
People were scared of him.
Oh, I cannot remember. So I cannot remember when I went to grade school. Well, kindergarten was at seminary school, and that was Mr. Haycock. Mart Haycock was my principal, and he was also one of my dad's best friends. But I was picnic with him every Tuesday night. Was still terrified of him. I was taught, hey, when you go into seminary school, that is Mr. Haycock. And you will respect him, or he will pound you. I can't remember who my principal was at Washington School, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. But 4th grade through 8th grade, they bused Washington School shut down. They bused the South Enders out to Lincoln School, which was amazing. And I had Johnson Bear. He was from Louisville. He was a tall, thin man. He walked those halls. I love Mr. Baird. He was awesome. But he had one of them big old paddles on his wall with the holes in them. I only saw him use it one time on Chris Lee. But Chris Lee deserved it because he climbed out the window of the school, and we were a country school out there on the highway. And Mr. Bear, Johnson Bear, he paddled.
He took care of it.
He took care of it
that
right
kid
there
probably
in the hallway.
never did that again, did he?
Chris, I don't think he ever did that, but it's.
He might have done some other stuff, huh?
Chris Lee is one of my favorite people in the entire universe. I love Chris Lee. He was great.
Okay.
Chris Lee was one of those guys that when we were in, I can show pictures of it. When we were in high school, he looked like a man.
Oh.
I'm sorry, when we were like 7th and 8th grade, he was built. He was just cut. He was ripped. He was very athletic, very stocky, didn't have an ounce of fat on him, curly afro, just as cute as he can be. If he watches the show, he's probably going to die right now. But anyway, I love. He was just great, but he was such an athlete. And like I said, when we were in 7th and 8th grade, it was like being in school with a 20-year-old.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I loved Chris Lee. He was a great guy, still a great man, married to his high school sweetheart, had children, just all around. When we have class reunions, when he shows up, I just my face lights up when I see him because I don't see him very often.
Yeah.
And he is just, he's like literally one of those that when they come, I'm like, oh my gosh, Chris Lee, I love him so much. And Jim's like, well, there's Stacy's boyfriend. Chris Lee's in the building. I'm like, oh my God, I love Chris Lee. And
That's
then
funny.
And then what we always do, because Jim usually DJs, it'd be like, oh, Jim, when we're closing down, we have to play Last Dance by Donna Summers, and me and Chris Lee dance to it, and I sing to him the whole time.
Oh, that's
I love
funny.
Oh,
that's great though that your husband and his wife can appreciate that and not be
because
bent out of shape
I am
about
that person. When I see somebody like, oh my God, I love you so much. Yeah, I love my schoolmates, but I think you and I did school differently because I love school.
You did. But anyway, we won't go there. Let's end
so
this show.
This is funny. So, Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. If you ever catch on fire, try to avoid seeing yourself in the mirror because I bet that's when real panic sets in. So if you get on fire, don't look in the mirror.
Don't look in the mirror.
That's when
don't
you're
panic.
going to really panic.
Oh, gosh.
Those are so
Crack
dumb.
up.
You got to love them. They're just so dumb.
As always, you can find us on Wabash Catch TV channel 100 daily at 11 a.m. New episodes air on Thursdays and Fridays. You can find all of our episodes on our YouTube channel, by the way, with Beth and Stacey. Like and follow us on Facebook. And anyway, it was a great show, so thanks for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
God bless you and have a great day.